Hello viewers, welcome to Uganda Coffee Development Authority. I am Claire Rakatogoro, the Promotions and Training Officer. Uganda Coffee Development Authority, it is an authority that is mandated to oversee all coffee activities in Uganda with a mission to promote increase in production, productivity and consumption. In line with the above mission, UCDA has a specific objective to increase domestic coffee consumption. So to successfully fulfill this mandate, we have several programs, and one of the programs is training along the whole coffee value chain. We have trainings on farmers, we have trainings of quality controllers, and we also have trainings of brewers, whom we call baristas. Baristas, these are professional coffee brewers. So today, we are going to concentrate on coffee brewing, because we don't want you to enjoy the perfect cup of coffee only in coffee shops, hotels, but also at home. So we are going to demonstrate to you how you can be able to do that at home, starting with the simple methods, with the equipment that you have in your kitchens. Then we move on to other specific and other simple and sophisticated methods of brewing, and also how that perfect cup of cappuccino is made in a coffee shop using a machine such as this.
Barista Champion Nyakaisik Annette at your service. Today I would like to demonstrate to you on how you can enjoy a great cup of coffee at home without a machine. It's very simple. We have a jug and a French press. So we shall start with the jug. With the jug, all you need is your jug, sieve, tablespoon, ground coffee, and your hot water. So I will first weigh my ground coffee, of which I'm going to use 7 to 8 tablespoons. The tablespoons, each tablespoon takes 7 to 8 grams of coffee. So I'm going to use 8 of them. That is equivalent to 60 grams of coffee. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I'll have to cover well still my coffee. Don't want it to become stale. Then I'll get my hot water. But still, even if you don't have a family, still you can enjoy a cup of coffee, but you can use 1 tablespoon or 2 tablespoons in your cup. So I'll have to make sure each ground of coffee gets water so that I extract very well my coffee. Yes, I'm using 1 liter of water. So I'll give it time. This is going to be between 3 to 5 minutes. As we wait for it, let's be now working on our French press. Let me show you how this one works. This is our French press, or maybe a plunger, the way you can call it. So before you start, you have to preheat. Remember, it's cold. That's why we preheat it, so that we normalize the temperatures, that is the brewing temperature. Then you pour away the water. After pouring away the water, you get your ground coffee. I'm going to use 4 tablespoons, that is equivalent to 30 grams, and I will use water. The water will be a half only, because the other one I used 1 liter, here I will use a half. 2, 3, 4. To keep my coffee very well, I have to make sure I keep it in an airtight container very well. Then I pour water again on top. I make sure that each particle gets water. That's my ½ liter. Then with the French press, it has its own built sieve. So I won't use this one, I will just use its inbuilt sieve. So I'll have to make sure it sits on top. And I give it still time, that is between 3 to 5 minutes. Let's check on our jug coffee. This one is also ready. So what you do next is just simple. You just have to mix or stir the crust on top, just on top, to mix well your water with coffee. It's done. Then you get your sieve, you get a jug, or maybe you can use a flask. It's very simple. Because I know everyone, you have a sieve at home and a jug. So it's better you enjoy a cup of coffee always. My coffee is ready. Then you serve direct, or maybe you can put it in the flask. Serve your family. It's very fresh. It's ready. You enjoy your coffee at home. Still for the plunger, the coffee is ready. So what I do next with the plunger, I just have to make it sit slowly by slowly. Don't use force, because if you use force, it may end up breaking. So I press it slowly by slowly until all the residues are being captured down. It's also ready. And remember, for the plunger or French press, it's very available on the supermarkets, maybe supermarkets, coffee shops, so you can get one. If you can't afford the plunger, still you can get a jug and enjoy a cup of coffee at home. Always is coffee time. Enjoy.
Why is brewing very important? It is because at this point, you can get a perfect cup of coffee at this point, or coffee can be destroyed. A farmer can do the best practices ever. A roaster will buy the most expensive machine, do the best roasting. But if coffee is brewed badly, you start blaming the coffee, when in actual sense, it is the brewing bit. Yes. So that's why we want to emphasize that you make a perfect cup of coffee at home. We have some basic factors that need to be considered to make that cup of coffee. First of all, it's the type of coffee. In Uganda, we are lucky we have both Robusta and Arabica. These are two different types of coffee, so they brew differently. Robusta is bold and has that much caffeine, so the amount of coffee that you use to brew it is different. And Arabica, it's rich in flavors and mild, and it is also brewed differently. So depending on what you want to brew at home, always check on that package when you're buying it, either from the supermarket or from the roaster, and check if it has the type of coffee, and then you can determine how to brew the coffee. Or sometimes they blend to get that rich boldness and the richness in flavors, so you can get a blend of both Robusta and Arabica. And also that you should consider it when you're brewing the coffee. Then we also look at the degree of roast. Is it medium roast? Is it medium dark? Is it dark roasted? All this depends on how much the coffee has been kept under heat. So as the more you keep it under heat, the more it becomes dark. And some flavors, some sweetness are also lost in the process. So when you're brewing such a cup of coffee, you need to consider the degree of roast or the freshness of the coffee. Then we also look at the quality of water that is used. You need clean water, fresh water, free of impurities. Because if you brew coffee with dirty water, with water that has some impurities, these impurities will combine with the coffee and they will produce a different cup of taste, a different cup of flavor. So make sure the water is clean and free of impurities. Then we also look at the grind. When you're buying the package of coffee from a supermarket or roaster, make sure you check on the package. Is the size of the particles. Are they fine? Are they big in texture? All that you have to consider, because you consider also the time you take to brew the coffee.